Great, glorious day. This is the day the Lord has made, and we will be glad and rejoice. We will be glad and rejoice in it. I've already butchered it. Welcome to today's episode of the Umubanga podcast, where we aim to inform, transform, and inspire. Can you imagine? This was my moment, to do the intro, but it's fine. We'll go again next time. Otherwise, I'm your host for today, Bukata Musonda, and in studio with me, helping me host, the co-host, is the one and only Samba, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it should be an interesting episode today.
It will be.
Yeah, Samba on the mic.
It's a big event.
Yeah. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Otherwise, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's great. You went to church today?
Yeah.
Okay, how was church?
Church was amazing as ever. Today was every day special, but today-ish.
There was a little something.
We reached heaven. It was
reached heaven is crazy. What was going on for you to say reached heaven?
Well,
wait, was it Women's Day at your church as well?
Okay. No. We didn't have Women's Day.
Okay, Mother's Day rather. Yeah.
We had a special guest today who just spent 3 or 5 minutes with us.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 minutes.
But it felt like he's been with us.
He did a lot of work. Who's the guest? Oh, he put up.
He came.
That's interesting.
Trust me.
He just came for 5 minutes.
Imagine all those things that what I've been waiting for the past 10 years praying for. In 5 minutes.
They are crazy.
The man lifted it.
That's interesting. That's really nice. I actually wanted to go for his conference. I don't know how I forgot that it was yesterday.
It was amazing.
Pastor, wife down. Everyone, leaders down. Audience just fast, boom, 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 down.
When I
people were falling under the anointing?
Yeah, very, trust me. When I say 5 minutes, it's not like a figure of speech or what.
Like he was literally just there for 5 minutes.
With a blink. After the church service, I had a conversation with the guys that were down. I was like, wa pastor. Manje wa pastor wangena che wachoka futi. So that's
that's how quick it was.
Yeah, he was very fast.
I wonder what. So what was that like? Do you guys know how that was arranged?
I think it was that thing of because when he came, he was his team was in communication with our pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So from what pastor said, he just texted pastor yesterday and told him I'm coming.
Oh, so it was just like a.
So they just gave him as a father to just bless the church.
Yeah.
Then he offloaded.
Trust me, when he got
that's
mic,
cool. That's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen a couple of his videos online and whatnot, so. I have a brief understanding of what you mean when you say you touched heaven.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm glad it was cool. For us, we had mothers. It's Mother's Day today, so we had mothers ministering.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was dope. It was nice. We actually had a group of women do poetry.
Tell me about that.
For me, that was the highlight. You have no idea.
No, I understand.
I have no idea. And then they were tapping into the little girls in them. So they were even skitting and doing the poetry. I was like, hey, that's what's going on here.
I'll go watch it.
It was lit. I enjoyed myself. That was actually the highlight for the service for me. But yeah, it was nice to see our mothers ministering in church today. Yeah. So shout out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day.
There's no us without mothers, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah, so we get into the gists for the day.
Go.
The stories for the day.
What's the tea?
No, the tea makes it sound like we gossip. We don't gossip.
No, it's not gossip.
Yeah, it's social commentary, right?
Let's go juice.
So we pick it up from one of the stories that I think was talked about heavily in last week's episode. They were interesting takes. Let a dog back. I wish I was in studio when that line was dropped. What do you mean? But anyway, yeah. So one of the stories that I think has been making headlines for quite some time in the country, right, is the whole Yomap situation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we went back and forth with B-Flow, whatnot, right? In fact, before we get into what we are supposed to be talking about right now, there's something interesting I saw, right? I saw your Mark 2 post about the Yomaps, right? I don't know if you guys saw this. So his post was him basically saying, I see how everybody's going at Yomaps, right? But Yomaps is more than just this moment. There's things that Yomaps does, and there's character traits he has, right, that define him more than this particular moment, right? I gained more respect for Mark 2 when he did that. Let me explain why. We have a lot of people who paint the picture of how they helped Yomaps. Even B-Flow himself. I've got nothing against B-Flow, right? Yeah. But I think I don't like the notion of, for example, if I decide to sow a seed in your life, right? You haven't even asked. If I decide to say, okay, Samba wants to do this, and I help you, I do the building blocks, and then you become even bigger than me. It's not my place to tell the story that I helped you.
For sure.
If you ask me.
And people forget that.
I think it's up to you. If you want to tell the story, tell it.
Yeah.
So I find it weird that people are posting, saying, no, I was helping Yomaps. So when Mark 2 went and supported his character when everyone was assassinating him and didn't talk about how he helped him or anything, I think that was something we could all learn from as Zambians, right? But now, if we get into the controversy around the whole Yomaps budget situation, for me, one of the things I wanted to highlight in today's episode was how, I don't know if you saw, is it King Nachi? He dropped a female Cypher. I don't know if you've seen it. You've seen it? So King Nachi has a female Cypher, or female Cypher. And one of the viral raps in that Cypher is Ben Lombe. Right? And everybody's going crazy. Yeah, Ben Lombe has buzz, Ben Lombe has buzz. But if you watch the video, Ben Lombe is a guy. He's a male. That is a man, right? Who is dressed like a female in the video. He has lashes. He has nails. He's acting like a woman, right? For me, if Zambia doesn't go up in arms to the same degree they did with Yomaps, yeah, I'm going to start understanding why Yomaps feels like he's targeted.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because there's no way we can have double standards and say Yomaps should take down the budget video and leave King Nachi to have that video up. Exactly. Where Ben Lombe is portraying himself in that manner, right? There's little boys and girls in the ghettos of Zambia who are going to watch Ben Lombe and think, this is great, this is how I should be. But if we're being honest with ourselves, do we want Ben Lombe to be the role model for our young boys in this country?
Exactly.
Right? Do we want that? Because that video is going viral. His clip where he's rapping is going crazy.
And funny enough, I didn't hear the whole song. The only thing I watched was just the Ben Lombe part.
Exactly.
That's the
Even I haven't seen the whole Cypher, right? Yeah. But the number of times I've seen Ben Lombe's clip, right? So for me, if pastors...
why is it a female Cypher?
And there's a guy. Exactly. It's a female Cypher and there's Ben Lombe in the Cypher. You know, all that stuff. So me, if like the pastors don't do the same level of intensity they had with Yomaps, that's being hypocritical.
The whole even what is it something of standards did?
Oh yeah, they actually did
a history of.
I think it's
sports. Is it
IBA?
The one that?
No, let me check.
Oh yeah, information exactly. Yeah, yes,
Information Broadcasting Authority. Yeah.
Yes, they say it's something about the whole thing.
Yeah,
even though I just think
they did a whole write up about strong content and how we should regulate.
They said something about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I told you even behind the scenes, like me, I have like a lot to say about it because I was like, if you watched last week's episode, I talked of how we should just like leave. Like Yomaps in this thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw how even when he took down the video, they were still like going. Like,
I didn't know he's taking it down. He's taking it down?
No. He changed
he's just censored.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
those
changed
parts.
it?
No, he hasn't. Those parts are just censored.
So like they put.
See. Yeah. So on the mouth they just put that whole. Is it the mask?
Oh, like where it looks. Okay.
Yeah, it's just exactly.
But still, people were still like going for him and whatnot. So for me, my biggest take, like when I saw that, I saw Makitu's post, it made me think of so many people in Zambia that are doing exactly what Yomaps are doing, but they are females. And this is my concern with organizations that operate as fighting for women's rights, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As an organization which fight for women's rights, you don't only fight males, you also fight females that misrepresent women.
Yeah.
And in Zambia, that's what we don't do. we only fight males. Like, remember that Matthias man from the podcast? Everyone went for him, right?
Oh, yeah.
About what he said. But we've got females that undress in their music videos.
Just
but
the
literally,
just talk about
Get to it,
Zaven.
right?
yes,
We don't just say this guy in
there's-
Zaven.
we have
You should
we
tell
have
us.
Zaven, we have Toela. Toela, she did a whole song. When you understand the meaning, you're like, what are you teaching people? Even the dress code of how she dressed. Even on her shows when she's going to perform, you're like, what have you dressed? It's like you've just covered, like, you know, like, it doesn't make sense. And we usually keep quiet about this whole thing. We're always quiet. We don't say anything. The church doesn't say anything. But because it was your maps, everyone went for him. You get. But all these things and organizations, this is what I was thinking. I was like, organizations in Zambia are hypocritical because it's not fair. Why we go for men when they say something bad about women. What about women who are misrepresenting women? What are we doing about them? Because the same picture that a man can paint is the same picture that, in fact, it's worse for a woman to paint that picture of a fellow woman. Because it's easy for young girls and females to follow lead. You know, there's certain girls that when they look at Zaven, they're like, I like her outfit, I also go wear it. But we're saying, what is your maps teaching our boys? Okay, what is Zaven and Doela teaching our girls? You know, that's one thing that I feel like the church should start addressing. We shouldn't just be going for someone because they're like famous and because they are going to respond and it will paint a wrong picture of them. What about those ones that we don't talk about that have been doing this thing for a long time? I've got Zambian artist males. I've got that guy that likes dancing without his shirt, like everywhere.
Happy Chichi.
Like, you know, like all those stuff. Like, you know, there are guys out there, like, we're seeing the boxers, like, there are boys out there, young boys that will think, okay, when I'm going for this show, I can remove my shirt. I can just put tattoos that look like maybe it's a shirt that I'm wearing, but like it's a tattoo. Then I'll go showing my boxers. Like, you know, it's misrepresenting people and it's teaching our boys and our young girls things that are not appropriate. And I think it's something we must address.
I think it goes back to the conclusion me and Umubanga had when we first talked about it in the episode, right? Which was basically, if we're going to draw a line, we should have drawn the line a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we see in music videos or that artists representing their artistry that should have called for the church to rise up and say, okay, here is where we're drawing the line, or to call for some level of censorship, right? Because obviously others will come and say you can't restrict an artist's need to express. There will be those arguments. The law allows for them to express to a certain level, right? And I hear those arguments, right? But then if we look at it for what it is, if we approach the situation like we should approach it with open eyes and an open heart, the reality is that we should have drawn the line a long time ago, right? Especially as a Christian nation. There are certain things we should not support, right? Like she said, dress code. Obviously, the whole Yo Maps video was not a good thing for Yo Maps to put, right? In the video, the girls kissing. But then we should not just restrict it to Yo Maps. If we're going to be that hard on Yo Maps, we should be hard just like that on everybody else.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
And by the way, who is this? That guy, the one you're talking about?
Kinach?
No.
Lombe? Yes.
It's not even funny. Like, I don't know why people.
Let's not get to that.
Because I see boys now, right?
Yeah.
They are following his. I've seen boys on TikTok that want to start pretending.
Thinking if you act like him, then
So
you're
that-
funny, right?
Yeah, so that you get numbers. He's not
Yeah.
even funny. There's nothing funny about talking like a like,
Clearly,
I think
the man of God didn't just make you touch heaven, he gave you confidence as well in that church. You were going
If I'm
crazy,
being
yeah?
honest, I think the Christianity religion is not as strict. I'll give an example of the Muslims.
Mhm.
Like when they say this is a Muslim country or what's or not, that country is everything they do. They find you naked, they find you as girls, you're not wearing the whole, trust me, you're gone. But for us, when we say, oh no, we're a Christian nation, we're just so heavy on what's considered a bigger sin than the other. So if it's a sin, but not very much of a sin, we'll be like, oh, okay, it's fine. So the whole thing where people are dancing butt naked, doing what, we can't really say much on that because like, it's normalized in Zambia. That's what the people are doing.
Speaking
like
to the mic, speaking to the mic.
It's like a trend and all that. So yeah.
Society, because people were talking about from the perspective of culture, like, no, what what Yomaps is portraying is not culturally appropriate, right?
Yeah.
But even, like I've said, what Ben Lombe is portraying is not culturally appropriate. You know what I mean? So for me, I think keep the fire burning, right? IBA should also drop another statement.
Because of the type of
B-Flow should
person.
also...
The type of person
Keep
Yomaps
the same
is.
energy.
So they
Pastors
don't
should write
expect him-
articles
There's
about
no
King
type
Nach
of
as well.
person who
So they
will behave
expect-
like a female way, a male, like a female way, a male. Like
Okay,
there's no type of
listen
person.
to
There's
this,
only
right?
female and male. There's
Exactly.
no type of
You-
person.
you
You
know
can't
why
be in... This
if-
this guy had lashes in the video.
I'll give an example. I'll give an example of a pastor, right? So let's say you're called, you are called, then you have locks on. God calls you to be a pastor and all that. So you take off those locks not because it's a sin or what's or not, but because you're looking at, will people listen to me while I'm putting these locks on or what? All those
Oh, I
things,
hear
right?
what you're saying. I hear
Yes,
what you're saying.
exactly. So it's also the type of person, they don't expect that from your maps. Understand? Like, it's the
Voila.
type of...
So now look, you're going back to the
Public
argument she
figure.
made. You're going back to the argument
It's Ben Lombe,
that
so I'm
Lydia
like,
made where she was saying you can't expect a dog to do anything else but bark, right? I hear you on that perspective. From that perspective. But that can't be what holds water in this argument. The reason I'm saying that is because, yes, you expect more from your maps, but if you really think about it, the level of impact or the level of reach that your maps video had, right, is almost as much as the level of reach just the clip for Ben Lombe is making. Because that video, I'm telling you, is going viral. It's going crazy. You know what I mean? So we must hold them to the same standard. We can't say no because it's your maps, no because it's
Same
what.
standard is
No, we have
correct,
to.
you
If
ask me.
you're going to draw the line,
Yeah.
draw it for everybody. You get what I mean? Don't just draw it for your
and I
maps.
think that's why Zambians get it wrong. That's why the whole Facebook Your Maps family gets it wrong. When you draw the line, you draw it for everyone, not just Your Maps, not just...
That was in fact their argument. Their argument was, how is it an issue when it's your maps? You know what I mean? I do agree that I think it's the first video that has made those rounds that has girls kissing, right? But if you're going to draw the line for everybody.
But don't we see
Even if
these
your maps
rappers
is the reason
doing
you've started drawing the line.
videos
No, so I'm
on-
talking about like rappers we have in the country or
So
musicians we have in the
we've
country.
never had such a video.
I don't think so. Not from my knowledge.
Yeah.
If they were there, I think
Because they
Facebook
used
would
to
have
shoot
found
a
them.
long time while they're in the club, like girls behind. We never used to see things that would look
I
like...
know. I for one never saw anything. But anyway,
okay.
do you guys serve in church?
Yeah.
You serve?
Yeah.
You also serve?
We said,
Everybody says
in
yeah.
our church,
Yeah.
you just come for, you just do your discipleship.
You have to
no
serve?
longer a member, you're a workforce.
Okay, so there's this conversation we found on the internet, right, where they're asking whether around the conversation of how members of the church seem to be exploited in today's time. Right, now let me explain. Say you're serving in church, right? The level, how can I put it? The level of commitment they ask of you to a point becomes almost like exploitation. I think this conversation is common,
Yeah.
especially with instrumentalists. No,
May I
real.
ask, are you... no,
Are you
you're
sure?
not.
I don't play instruments
Are
in
you
church.
sure?
I know. Let me explain where I'm coming from, right?
No, but I understand you. I think I understand.
So the conversation basically, let me find the exact quote before you come and say it. No.
Because most
I was
instruments,
paraphrasing.
when you ask them, these guys who play
Let me read for you.
instruments,
Here it
like,
says,
they feel like they're being
it says church members being exploited and abused by pastors in the name of you need to serve in church. Right?
Yeah.
So there's those people who the man of God or the head of the department just has them on the fingertips. Like it can be 01. Are you there? Come and do this. So I think that's the exploitation they're talking about, right? The reason why I bring instrumentalists into this, and I'll pose a question at the end. The reason why I bring instrumentalists into this is because it's where we see it a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, there are probably ushers and other people, protocol, who get exploited, but we see it a lot in instrumentalists where they are asked to perform at a certain level, which requires a certain level of input, right? But their cry normally is there must be a financial conversation somewhere there, because there's no way I'm dedicating to this level, right?
Yeah.
And I'm performing at this level, but I'm not making any money off it.
Yeah, exactly.
right? So now, for me, that becomes my question. Do you think there should be some people in the church that get paid for their service?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, to what I know is that most of these guys who play instruments or whatnot, in most churches, they're paid. Okay, actually, I had no some 2-3 years ago. I didn't know that they're actually paid. There's some who get paid in churches, and it was like my friend told me, like, oh no, we actually get paid for us. Then I was like, what do you mean you're in church? What do you mean you get paid? I thought you're supposed to just do the service. He says, oh no, there's no such thing, because at the end of the day, if you don't, I want it service, I want.
That's
like,
crazy. That's
okay.
crazy.
So
So what's your take, right? Because you're telling us what your friend said, but I want to hear
Yeah.
what your take is on the issue.
I think my take is. I'm in between. I'm in between.
Explain.
My dad owns a church.
Uh-huh.
He's a pastor, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think we had this guy who used to play the keyboard, and I would admit here and there, yeah, he used to get paid. Yeah, he used to get paid, but at some point the pay was low, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to." This is whatever.
It's privileged information.
Yeah. Okay, overall, this guy, so my dad told him to say, I'll be praying for you, you're my son. Like, you're supposed to do the service. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But this guy thought, no, if I go out there, I'll go for a concert, play
And I'll
for
make
Christine
money.
Cole. I'm going to make money. So he just left, just like that. So I think they should be paid.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they should be
What
paid.
do you think?
At the end of the day, most of them stick to that as a profession.
I think I spoke about this once here when I was talking about gospel artists. Yeah.
Oh yeah, last week, not.
Gospel artists. So I mentioned that people usually forget that out of, I don't want to use the word out of, because most people come for me and say we don't have a life outside God. But within the life that God gave us, we are supposed to thrive and make money. We're not really, for those people, I think they should be paid, especially those that dedicate their time. I'm not saying everybody should be paid in the church, but they should look at people like, those sound engineers. Every time the choir is rehearsing, or anyone that wants to use the instrument, they have to be there. I've seen it before. I remember there was this one time, the teens ministry at church wanted to record like a whole podcast. The guy who is a sound engineer had to leave work to come and be with us at church as he's operating the mixer. So you get like the level of demand.
So now,
that is on them.
you know what my question becomes there, right? For both of you who are saying they should get paid, my question then becomes like, if that's the case, then even youth leaders should get paid. Let me explain. Imagine somebody who's the youth leader. I won't even say, let's speak a big church. Let's say Bread of Life. You know how many youths Bread of Life has? So to be able to plan and organize and execute programs at that level with that many amount of people is a lot of work, I promise you. That also takes skill. What do you mean? Even playing instruments is a calling.
Yeah, it is, but in that case,
David played the harp to calm the king. That was a gift.
When it comes to leadership.
So for me, that's my argument, right? If you're going to pay the instrumentalists, it's a controversial take. Pay me as well as a youth leader.
But
Yeah,
you
you're
know
always
where the
controversial.
difference
See
comes
what I was talking
from? You know
about?
where the difference comes from?
Where's the difference?
That's why I said I want to hear your take.
There's a skill and there's a gift, right? So there's certain instrumentalists who it may be their gift, right? But it's also their skill. In the context, I mean like this. Imagine this person, this guy. He did his grade 12 in English school. This guy literally just decided to say, me, I think my life is all about instruments. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to university. I will just be making money. He has a whole idea of when I raise money, I will buy my own like instruments, I'll open maybe an agency. Like he has this whole plan for his life.
And that's great.
And now you find that because of a demand at church, right? He's unable to play for other people because he only has to play for those at church. So we can't kill someone's dreams by making them play at church and say no, we won't pay you. We'll just be praying. Okay, even if you pray for, even if you pray for me,
I
we'll
feel
pray.
like they should see your face.
No. Okay, so I hear you. I hear what you're saying, right? But also, let me give you the same picture, right? So, as somebody who's saved in like youth leadership, right? I'll tell you this: the same skills I use with my Nation to organize events and do what are the same skills I'm using at church with the youth leadership. So my gifts are also skills. You get what I mean? I make money off my ability to organize human beings. You get what I mean? My ability to put a team together and lead, that's management. You understand? And that same management is what you take into events, into teams, whatever activity you're given. You get what I mean? So it's a gift, yes, but it's also a skill. I could get paid off it. You get what I mean? And so even I can say, even I can wake up today and say, you know what? I don't want to go to school and do what? I just want to be in the management space. I just want to manage people. If I want to even say that's my route into politics, I'll just be managing people. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And so I could start from church, become good from church, right? And then because church is always demanding my time, I can't go elsewhere to do it, right? I think now what should happen is have a conversation, right? I'm not saying every church is capable of doing this, but I would advocate that instead of having a conversation around paying every instrumentalist, which I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid. If you have the ability to pay them, that's great, right? But I think the conversation more so around service, right, is adding value to something, right? And then if you're appreciated, the appreciation should not come as an entitlement, if you ask me, right? Because as a youth, as somebody who's in youth leadership, I don't feel like, okay, no, I'm entitled to get paid when I do this work. It's a lot of work. It's the targets you get given are crazy. You get what I mean? But I serve because that, for example, for starters, it's what's required of me as a believer, right? Service is also a way of relating with God. It's a type of relationship you have with God, right? If it gets to a point where you're being exploited, right? You're trying to do things outside the four walls of the church, and the church is constantly tagging on you and saying, no, you can't go. Yes, that becomes a toxic relationship. But what do? You sit down and have the conversation to say, okay, if I can't go out and make economic, right, value, if I can't put money in my pocket using my skill because I'm here all the time, can we come up with an arrangement where you make up for the time, right? You pay me. If they say, no, we can't pay you, don't say, okay, now I've walked away. Next step is, okay, can we have an arrangement where we schedule my time? I can't be here all the time. I need to go make money, right?
Yeah, sure.
If it means I have to train somebody else to be there when I'm not there, facilitate. Let me train others.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's more so of a build conversation. It's more so of like let's find solutions. Most of the times when I get into those conversations, I find that it's a pay me or walk away. Like that's, for me, that's like, bro.
Yeah.
For me, it would even be tougher to walk away. I'd be like, okay, let me teach others, you know? It's like I tell Umubanga.
Like, bro.
Let me walk away. Let me walk away. You get what I mean? So for me, I'd rather the conversation is like, okay, since I'm your only guy, can we have others I can teach so that I have more time on my hands?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To go make money.
Yeah.
Those are, for me, are better solutions than, I'm hungry, I need money in my pocket, I'm dipping, I'll go where they're paying me.
My concern was, right, it's not really for those that just like deep, like, you know. For me, my concern was for those, remember the example I gave you, where someone is always at church.
Yeah,
They are always at church. Like, there are
That's
certain,
the part you said exploiting.
yeah. So there are certain people that, so like others make arrangements like this. I won't mention the church. Arrangement like this, where the instrumentalists are not paid, but when you know that you're having an event where you are demanding them a lot, you're preparing for an event, right? And you're demanding these people, you are having like them to be at church almost every week of the day, like every day of the week, they're at church. For that period, they give them something.
Yeah, take care of their transport,
yes,
pay their lunch. Yeah.
Because, and you know how human beings are. Sometimes human beings are not difficult. The problem is that some people can't even give you money for transport and food.
So that's where the challenge is now.
Sometimes, like, just
The exploitation, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like sometimes just give them
Wameweka familia.
Literally, I have a flashback. You have a testimony. You want to testify, my
And
sister?
me, for me,
Relax.
it's not only on the money aspect, right? Let me bring another. What is when I ask you a question for you guys to answer. There's also an exploitation that happens in terms of you are at church and you have school, you have home. You're still a boy, but like you have home, like you have got duties you do home, and you find church, the church position that you have, or maybe the church is demanding you a lot to the extent that at school, you have reports to submit, you have words to do, and you can't even say you're overwhelmed, because if you say you're overwhelmed, they'll be like, a child of God overwhelmed. Imagine if Jesus Christ said he was overwhelmed.
Imagine if you refuse to be crucified. Jesus Christ did at school.
She's found it.
So like, you know, Jesus Christ, when you look at when he started his ministry, right? He left his parents, remember? He was doing just ministry, like, so you can't compare the level of capacity like
Right now.
Let the build argument.
Yes.
No.
And I usually, like, everyone that comes to me with this argument, I usually tell them, say, look, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I needed you to say something.
Was like
he
was called, right?
The doctor.
And he was doing that whole ministry, right? So like that was his calling. The mother knew that that's my son's calling. So like even when you look at his ministry when it started, we never had an instant where even when the mother came to see Jesus, remember what he said? At the person,
called a woman.
The person who listens to my father and my wife is the one that is my brother. He was telling the disciple that you are my brothers, not even because what? For him, he was called specifically for that. You get, and we are all called for that, but we need to also put into consideration to the fact that this person, they're saying they're overwhelmed. Let me listen to them first. I think what we lack most of the times in leadership in churches is leaders that listen to understand, not listen to respond. Because most of them, before you even finish the sentence, you are overwhelmed, child of God. Like, listen to me first. Let me say what's making me to be overwhelmed.
Right?
We sit down and we have
Samantha wanted to say something.
No, let me finish my argument.
Give Samantha the mic. Samantha, what's your take on the issue? Doc, as somebody who has shifts, sleepless nights.
Make it a topic next week. Otherwise, I have an argument, but because of time.
I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a good time. So my take on service in the house of God is that remember that when you're in school, when you're choosing to go to school, you're passionate about it, right? Of which even our service in the house of God was supposed to be passionate about it, because it's a Christianity way of worshiping with God. It's a way of fellowshipping with Him as you serve in the house of God. You don't always have to like pray your prayer, but your sacrifice as you serve, that alone is prayer.
It's communion.
It's communion with God, fellowship with God. So if you tell me to say, I do agree with what you said when you said there are certain offices. Okay, I understand, like for pastors in those big churches, yes, because I would say 100%, if not, okay, I would use 90%. 90% of their time they're in church. And in most big churches, I agree, they do get paid. The reason why they get paid is simply because that's the only work that they do. And they have to do it with utmost diligence, rather with excellency and whatnot. So, but you who's being introduced to the Christian faith and you're taught to serve as an act of service, you know what, I always tell people to say, what you place value on, you do not compromise on it, and you do not even complain. So if you're given a task, right, and you say you're overwhelmed and whatnot, and I feel like when I started, I'll give an example of myself. Let me use this as an example of myself because it will sound more realistic. I found people serving, not that I never used to serve. I used to play in an orchestra. I used to be there like, would go playing instruments. Like
You used to
from
play
it.
instruments. What instruments you used to play?
I can play the saxophone. I can play the treble recorder. I can play the discant recorder. I can teach music because I did it.
Oh.
Partly. So yes,
That
you'd
makes
find
sense. Yes.
okay, you would find that. So I was I have a new apostolic background. So new apostolic, we train you in music. Yes.
Okay.
So you find that when you go for choir practice, or rather orchestral practice, you go there around 8 until later in the evening, just for you to understand those weird notes, musical notes. Trust me, it's not something that you would do for like an hour and you understand it. It requires your time. But then what used to motivate us was because we value what we are doing. So it's the same thing that I'm trying to drive at. What you value, you always like create time for it. So if at all you have value in your service in God's house, you obviously create time. And I always tell people to say, don't do your work without service. Put service in God's house first. I said this because I've seen it working for me. You know, I used to be very overwhelmed, whereby I'm like, I have these reports to submit, I have what and what to submit, because I try to balance. I try to balance between school and my service to God. But the day that I accepted to say God comes first, because He's my heavenly Father and He's the one that has brought me thus this far to like be in school and whatnot. Obviously, He knows how I'm supposed to work in His house. The day that I accepted that, trust me, that was the very day that I started feeling every time I have work, like I'm given to write reports, I have to do it first. Like, I'm a medical student. It's shocking how some people don't even know to say, I'm a home medical student. They'll be like, but you're always early at church and whatnot. So it's all about what do you understand about your service in God's house. The more you understand what you value, what you place value on, you understand how to go about it. So that's my take about it.
Buzz. The poet was on the mic. That's how you know. Okay, so for me, if I was like to maybe like wrap it up, she would say I'm being controversial.
No, I'm used.
But no, for me, I think I agree with I understand the notion of feeling like you have a lot on your plate, right? You have school, you have what, and then they are telling you also to go spend your whole time at church, right? I understand that aspect. And then they want to make you feel guilty and say, what if Jesus said he was overwhelmed? I understand that, right? And I have been on the receiving end of that energy, right? But also just to kind of explain where sometimes men of God or leaders in church come from when they put that pressure on you is sometimes there's that they at the back of their heads there's that thing like we have to get this done, right? And then when you're dealing with a lot of people, really you hold on to the people who are most responsive, right? So you find that you are one of the most responsive people. So when they hold on to you like that, sometimes it's not because they're trying to make your life more difficult. It's because you make their life easier. You get what I mean? It's because of the value they've seen in you. So there's a thing my dad likes to say to get oil, you have to press the olives, right? So it's sometimes that's what it is, right? But if I was to give my take on the whole issue, for me, I think just even add to what Samantha was saying, right? I like to think of life holistically, right? I don't like to break it apart and say there's this part of my life. Obviously, life has segments, but there must be a holistic view you have, right? As believers, we are supposed to live purposefully, right? There's supposed to be a certain level of intention in the way we live our lives, right? And that intention is supposed to be informed by God. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, right? So it means God knows what plans He has for our lives, right? And so if you have a relationship with God, Scripture also says, my sheep know my voice, and you ask God, what is the plan for my life? God should be able to speak into your life and tell you, right? And so when God tells you, He's telling you what type of service you're supposed to be doing in church. He's telling you what course you're supposed to study, right? He's telling you what path you're supposed to walk in life, right? Now, as simple as these things sound when I'm saying them, the practice of them is way more difficult. It's way more difficult to live your life like that, right? Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, for example, the way I'm in youth leadership, right? It does get overwhelming sometimes. But at the back of my head, I have the understanding that the way a knife was created to cut, I've been created to save like this. So if I'm not saving like this, what's the point? You get what I mean, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so for me, even when it gets overwhelming and I can't handle things, I go back to God, who is the one who gave me the responsibility to save. And I say, it's overwhelming. My school is going to suffer. There's actually a time at Unza when I was given a 0 because of
Very
how much I
normal.
had on my plate. Like,
Very normal.
my CA was 0. You understand? I
Yeah,
said,
no.
Jesus Christ,
That
right?
one is too
And
much,
this is
sir.
a man who everybody was saying he doesn't give makeup tests. Like, my friend, you're going into the exam with a 0. You know what I mean?
But he gave you?
But then I went back to God and I started praying to say, what are they going to say? Me who's spending my entire time saving you. Then I should fail to pass the exam. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
This man said, I know there are Christians in here and you people pray. So instead of me suffering because you've put me in your prayers, I'm just going to give you the makeup test.
Oh.
You can imagine.
That's just the testimony right
so
there.
for me, like when we talk about service, for me, it's like it's very dear to me. You know what I mean? It's like the heartbeat of who I am. You know what I mean? Service and whatnot. It doesn't matter how overwhelming and crazy it gets, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I do understand those people who have notions like the way she was saying, where they come and tell you what if Jesus told you. That's not the approach I think we should take. The approach I think we should take for real is to hear out people. Like, okay, what's making you overwhelmed? And have that conversation. Otherwise, whether it's playing instruments, whether it's ushering, whether it's what, if that's where God has called you there, right? And let at the back of your head understand that that's how I commune with God. So
Yeah, for sure. 1 minute. 1 minute. I need to move.
no, she's saying keep your contribution brief.
Yeah, under 1 minute, don't worry. So,
No.
you know, when Pastor once taught us to say there's a difference between spiritual maturity and spiritual growth. So, every time, like, you are giving tasks, like you're assigning to somebody, especially somebody that is new to the faith, you're supposed to start treating them like an egg as you're starting. Do not abruptly,
Force them into the fire.
Yes. That way it kind of
Helps
kills
build.
them a bit if you abruptly do that. There are people who come fire. Then when it gets overwhelming, they lose it. And when they lose it, sometimes it gets hard
To
for
come
them
back.
to be ironed, to get back to that level that they reached. It's because there's a difference between having the fire, because somebody is like telling you, you can do this, you can do that, and whatnot, because they are giving you tasks and you feel as if you are there. So when you notice to say this person is new in the faith, I understand to say you want to see them growing. I understand to say you want to assign them with tasks, but do it like a step ladder. Just last week,
Speaking
right?
of which,
Just last week, it's short, don't worry. Just last week. So we're doing evangelism, and this person comes in from church. Then they go like, okay. They didn't discuss there and then, but in the leadership, they were like, so the dress code, I got to understand to say, so even our leaders, they are trained to say they do not come abruptly to us to say, you go do this, go do that, go. They do it. It's a step ladder. So yeah.
Kubasenda wino abana bakwa Yesu. What do you guys think about AI songs being nominated? Christian Voice asked that, guys, should we nominate? This
it's also service.
yeah.
Is it also service?
You wanna hear my real voice? What do you think?
Glory to God.
Exactly.
You want me to sing?
This is my voice when it is not in
On
young.
that one, if I'm being honest,
Like in the
Gospel
burning
AI.
bush. Yes, no finish.
Okay. Gospel AI songs have never just sat right with me.
Really?
Yeah. I'll give
So you've never heard burning bush before? It has never given you goosebumps?
If I'm actually being honest, I'll say this. I don't know if
I
don't know if I'll be sued.
Eh?
But okay, there's that. I want to mention names. Yeah. So there's that man who's gone viral, who's a gospel artist and sings Zambian gospel songs. To be honest, even when we just see his behavior, sir. Does that look like the way he responds to people?
No, but we're talking about the song, not the man behind the song.
Yeah, we're not talking of the man, but I'm just saying why. Another reason why I just see that it does not at all come from the spirit. So gospel songs are supposed to be spirit led. It has to come ministered. Ministers to you.
So now, me, if I was to challenge you with that conversation, right? There's somebody who said that if God is trying to communicate a message at a particular time and man is not responding, even stones can be used. So
you're saying he's raising AI?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we can't discredit. How can I put it? The source might be questionable, right? But we must also be able to look at the impact and the quality of what's being produced.
Okay,
Do you get what I mean?
ministering the words.
Do you get what I mean? Because that Burning Bush song, guys, let's be real.
Imagine God is calling maybe a Chieshiwalia, right?
Uh-huh.
And they are young. That kind of singing. And a Chieshiwalia is not agreeing. God will go and get a Nebuchadnezzar.
So for me, that's just my take on the conversation, right? I understand that the man of God, DMC Ame, hasn't really represented the AI community the best, right? But if you talk about the songs, let's not deny there's people out there that are still pumping that song, like in the burning bush. Munekela Pavana. Yeah, that song is fire. I think they should nominate it.
I give my I think they should have a category for these specific songs.
Yes.
It will be the only one, isn't it?
No.
Or we have
others will jump on board.
Others will jump on. There are others who want to jump on board, but they're scared.
Exactly, because of our treating DMs here.
No, wait.
AI, one thing we need to accept is this.
It's here to stay.
AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
There's this, I remember in my AI course, there's one thing that we were learning, we're being taught to say, there's a whole statistics of how many jobs will go because of AI, but there's actually more jobs that will be created. So now the question is, are you going to be on the other side where jobs are being gotten? Are you going to be
on the side where you're
losing? So I
losing?
advise people. I tell people to say, look, you are a content creator. Be a content creator that knows how to work with AI. Be an agricultural person who knows how to work with AI. Because most jobs, just recently, I think that was last week, in the Women in AI, they posted a job opportunity. So there's a company, it's in Europe, it's hiring someone who is doing healthy, like who did like a healthy course, any form. That's when someone who has knowledge in health, who can like be working with AIs. So I'm like, look, so if there was someone who I knew in my circle who like they're in health and
but they've embraced AI,
I would have just given them, and they would have been making money. Like you'd be working here in Zambia, they're representing their company here in Zambia, which is like a lot of money. But most people just say, no, it will get our job. It's like in the mining sector, you know. Like I remember like one time I did a presentation on my like project, and there's this man who said, but it's going to get our job. I told him, I'm like, sir, when a bulb was coming, I'm sure you were saying it's getting business for people for candles. But it came, we adjusted and we now accepted it. That's one thing we need
that
to
AI
understand.
still needs
and
people
again,
to operate on.
Yeah, exactly.
From a point of view, one thing we need to understand is that God is the one that gave man the wisdom and the knowledge. For someone to come, trust me, there's no one who can ever transform a creation without the approval of the creator. We can't transform the world the way AI is transforming the world without the approval of the creator. That means God initially approved of it. Because there's no way AI can be transforming all these things, all these transformations that are happening without God approving. So I tell people to say engineering is less of Christianity is less of engineering, but engineering is more of Christianity. This is one thing we need to understand, especially about AI. For me, I even encourage, even like my nephew's home, I'm one person that even trains them. Like I'll teach them some tips about AI because I want them to learn how to work with it and to it's like what I was saying last week. You either work with the system or work against the system. But I can assure you, if you work against the system, you're going.
It's more difficult.
The system is here to stay.
So yeah, I think like she said, they should create a whole category, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
discredit other people.
Yeah, people who.
Hard.
It's not that you didn't work hard when you use AI, right?
It's
It's the way. It's like the way Mark Ford said when we had him on the interview. We asked him how he feels about AI, and he was like, if you think about even beat production and how it's progressed, right? Even just the way we're doing podcasting, like this machine we're using for sound, right? It once upon a time it didn't exist. So for us to capture sound, it would have taken a lot more equipment and a lot more work, right? So the fact that the tools are becoming simpler is to our benefit, right? And so when you talk about AI songs, right, it's about how the song was made. It's about how the tools were used. The tool of AI was used to create the song. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just becomes jade now if you now start talking about things like, for example, you can't pay DMC the same amount you're going to pay Ephraim to perform.
And again,
No matter how big his song is, because now that comes down to skill.
Okay, if we're being honest, I think on that part, this is why they say such. Okay, so we have these awards in church where they give people to say those who pledged a lot, like. So they measure with how much you gave, right?
That's interesting.
No. So yes. So yeah, how much you pledged in that church and
So if like you pledge the mods, they award you?
Yes, exactly. That's how it goes. So for us, we can't see that if you tithed or a 10 kwacha, we can't see that you are that lady. That was the last thing.
You had.
So such credit comes from God.
Yeah.
So for us, we do what we see. So it's the same. It comes to the same thing on the whole Ephraim issue. So that credit, why you're saying, oh no, it now comes to skill, it comes to what? That credit is going to get from God. So for now, on earth, so what we physically
But I hear what you said.
And what she said about them not being spirit filled, right?
Filled, yeah.
Yeah. One thing we need to understand is that how can I say, the movement of the Spirit of God is not in the intensity of the moment, but it's in the clarity of instruction. What does the song say? So the movement of the Spirit is not only about the Spirit. The movement of the Spirit of God.
But I agree.
Right? Do you know that there are people that always fall every day in church?
The anointing.
Yes, when the pastor says,
But I can tell you
that the pastor may say financial breakthrough, everyone will fall, but you find that maybe the person who even fail will not really have that financial breakthrough.
you won't even receive it.
So the manifestation of the Spirit of God is not in the intensity, in the fire. It's in the clarity of the instruction behind it.
Come on, woman of God.
I'll give an example of if you saw what was happening when Paul was going to Damascus, right? He had people with him, right? Everyone saw what he saw, but no one heard the voice he heard. So it's not in the intensity. We can give an example. When a president is going somewhere, he goes with a convoy. I don't know if it's a convoy.
Yeah, that's yes.
All those cars that are moving the convoy, it's not the president. So the voice of God, also the movement of the Spirit, sometimes comes with certain things, but those certain things are not the Spirit itself. So sometimes you may find someone produces a song with AI.
Come on now.
The message behind it can transform a life of someone who doesn't even
Yeah. She's going deep.
It's about the message behind it rather than the person, rather than the use of how it was made. It's not
like in the burning bush.
You know the type of
song.
Have you listened to Echo, right?
So
it's
just saying that's the intensity, but it's not about the intensity that you feel when you listen to a Kaumbe. It's about the message you get that God is communicating to you through that song.
So we have so a song. So my point is that yes, his songs have got the message, but they have the intensity.
It's not about the intensity.
Okay.
There are people that can receive the fire, but will never really. How many people that go to church but they still, how can I say, like someone who prays? I've given an example. Someone, let's say we have a pastor here, they say receive it. This one has intensity, they fall. But this one who didn't have the intensity, just standing. No wonder Pastor Cham said something. It's not about the manifest. It's not about the manifesting, it's about the manifest. It's about the one who grabs the message. So certain people can look at certain music and be like, nah, like I remember like people were saying, no, like this group, even if they sing gospel songs, they look like they're satanists. You are saying they're satanists, but you don't know the level of transformation that has happened because of those songs. God can
Which group is that?
Like
Maverick City.
You don't know the level of transformation. You don't know when
follow us.
No, I hear your arguments. Anyway, we'll leave it up to the viewers. But for me, I feel like we should create a category for.
Yeah, separate
It would be
categories.
interesting to see how that goes. I would like to see DMC at their words.
But I
Anyway,
want
yeah,
him to
again,
speak
this
on
year-
stage.
This is my voice when it has not been enhanced.
And he posted that the man should watch season. I don't know if this guy sees next week, then I'm not a man of God.
Oh, really? There are other big men of God that say that.
So now when it comes to
Died
performing,
by
what
fire.
comes? So his mic will be
And you
open to just
Badenjo
be
was
there.
saying Edgar died. Edgar Lungu died because he refused him to go into the country. There's people who be men of God who talk like that. Anyway,
The graduate,
yeah. Speaking of graduates, the country will be graduating soon.
for sure.
You know what I mean. Anyway, the video that went viral of the girl who was graduating in SA, right?
Yeah.
And she was just in like plain clothes and whatnot with a puff ponytail. The story was basically how her mom, worked so hard to get her through school, and she's finally graduated, and her mom was there, and like she was crying, right? She didn't have money for the makeups, the outfits, and whatnot, and she got her degree, and everybody was saying that's like the power of a mom and how our parents are there for us, And then the video went viral, and people now started saying, we'll pay for her makeup, we'll pay for her photo shoot. Where does she want to have dinner with her mom? We'll pay for that, right? Yeah, so even me, I'm about to do a video very soon. I'm joking, no, but that was just a great show of, hey, who told you? What's your problem? Hey, relax.
This whole thing, the whole story for the it makes me very emotional.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
really?
Sorry,
Let me just excuse myself.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that deep. But anyway, yeah, so it was a very nice story to see her. It was a very nice story to see how the world came around her, and everybody just started supporting how she deserved a good graduation. She deserved all those nice things people were offering her, the makeup and the whatnot.
Somebody left this. Hi guys.
Yeah. You actually joined us on the last story.
What's the last story?
We're talking about the South African girl, but now we're about to go into the woman who cried when the first lady was launching the school. I don't know if she was given a chance to give a speech or something.
I don't know. I didn't see that story.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't know what led to her having the podium, right? But when she was on the podium, she was, I guess, crying and lamenting to say, "This is my situation, and I need a job."
She was a volunteer, right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. If it's like that scripture in the Bible which says that at the pool of Bethesda, where the man was like, "There's nobody to help me get into the pool." So when somebody of that stature comes through, you have to. We don't know her state of heart, but look, it's the first lady. She can make a decision like there and then, and it will be followed suit. Because people, and it's an election year.
She shot her shot.
Shoot your shot, my guy.
She scored.
And like speaking of which, I'll divert a little bit. Is that for ladies, if you like a guy, don't wait for him. If you like a guy, don't wait for him to see in the spirit. If you feel in your heart that this is the right person, shoot your shot, my guy. Position yourself well.
Aye.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of the other video that was going viral where Pastor Gift was talking about heartbreak.
Oh.
For me, I didn't see what he was saying before. But it sounded like he was talking about how if you don't let us know about your relationships, then they break your heart. Yeah. Go and listen to Moto Zambia's song.
Anyways, I think I've asked you before this question to say, are your pastors aware of your relationship?
Oh, actually, today I was having lunch with mom, right, and my auntie.
Yeah.
And so
Sounds bougie. What was that? Mother's Day.
I'm not
You're celebrating.
so at first they started by talking about Favor, my older brother. Right? They were busy asking him about girls and marriage and whatnot.
You were with
right?
him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Girls and marriage and whatnot. And then I was thinking, as the younger one, they will probably won't reach me. And then all of a sudden it switched, right?
Yeah.
So I bring this up because the way it switched, they were talking like it's common knowledge. Like me and my girlfriend's situation is like common knowledge. So me, when I say they have full understanding on my end, that's what I mean, right? Yeah. But then I guess it's different dynamics on the other end. So
Of course.
but for me, I think I've got a whole roster of people who are aware, but not my apostle. That's a different level.
Okay, you listen to Moto Zambia.
No, that's a different. To go to apostle,
Like,
and now this goes back to Mofya's conversation.
Quick question. What's your take? Speaking of which, I think we had Inonge on the podcast last time. What she said quite had
It has views. The internet was
talking, different opinions and all that. But I just want to hear your take on what she said.
But we've talked about this before, right?
Just saying what's talk. Just this boy has.
Pastor, I said hi. I still remember that.
It was a figure of speech.
No, it was. It had to be. Anyway.
It had to be.
No, believe it wasn't. Then give me your page.
For me, I think we talked about it. Even when Mofya was here, we vaguely talked about it, right? Yeah, so I do agree with the notion of accountability, right? I just think there's levels to it. I genuinely think there's
But
levels.
I guess, like, I don't think it's you going all the way to the apostle, but it's like, there are like even assistant pastors, like different pastors task. Like, if they're aware, then that's fine. And like, you going to say, apostle, like, this is what's happening.
Apostle is wild.
Broke my heart.
No apostle.
But
Send me a
another
text,
thing,
she said,
another funny thing is this, right? Is that I genuinely believe that we should have like good relationships with our men and women of
Oh,
God
yes,
around
yes,
us. Like,
definitely.
we should have like good relationships. Like I know, like in Onge's case, it was taken to some. This is extreme. But I as well do understand the kind of relationship she has with the pastor. Just like the whole pastoral team. So it's pretty much levels to this.
Exactly.
You can quote, say, this one did this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
But
it's not like
interesting,
a prescription type of
interesting
situation.
takes. We're supposed to close the show, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Close. What else is missing?
Oh, we have one last story that we just take 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Oh, sorry, seconds. Okay, so I just want to give an update on the only university in Zambia. So we have this whole argument.
You thought you'd talk about Love Sunday. But anyway,
you guys are
Talk about it. So there's this whole controversy where the management has prioritized their academic calendar more than academic excellency. So they've decided that classes should be online. Imagine someone who's from Shangombe.
Shangombo, not Shangombo.
Rich kid.
They're still having such.
I think you guys will write exams at the end of the year. Because you were supposed to write exams now. But the exams have been put behind and you're having class.
Will be online.
No.
When they open.
Because the whole university will pass.
If it's online, right?
One last but
Another last thing.
Yeah. This coming Saturday.
On the 16th.
Saturday.
It's 16th, not 17th. Huh?
16th of May. It's going to be a big event. A place you should not miss.
Who will be there?
The Love Sunday is finally here. We are no longer saying it's 2 months away. It's after 5 months. It's finally here.
Yeah.
Find us at Blessing Center 8 to is it 16 or 17? 17 to 17 hours. If you need transport, just be sure to
Visit your page.
visit our page. The numbers there, free transport. It's going to be amazing. You have a great experience.
So your Love Sunday. I know most of the times when somebody hears, "Oh, Love Sunday," be like, "Are you guys talking about love? What's the emphasis for this year's Love Sunday?" Because most people know that your pastor talks about love most of the times. So, will an elderly person, will they be comfortable to be able to come to Love Sunday, or is it just strictly a youth conference?
Yes, they can be comfortable.
Yes to what?
Like they can be comfortable because this year.
Yes to what?
Like they can be comfortable.
Who will be comfortable?
Yes. Okay.
Who the youth see or the elder people?
Because that's the last statement you said. So I'm saying yes, they'll be comfortable because this year's Love Sunday the theme is family. So we're doing family dynamics. We're going to be having conversations around family, brother sister relationships, mother father. So like it's just family this year. Last year it was about no filter, no makeup, like just raw. It's because he was talking about relationships.
Low.
Yeah, he was talking about relationships. Yeah, but for this specific one, but I know he's going to give like some references to relationships, but most of the times it will be around family. And I'm sure when he's talking about relationships, he'll talk about. So when he's talking about.
Yes.
Huh? So the entire time she's been talking.
So you guys, the entire time you've
That's
been talking,
crazy.
yeah, like it's been crazy business.
That is a whole episode.
You know what? So,
Oh my
anyways,
god.
yeah.
See, that's why the in-ears are important.
One of the things which we need to learn, and even in terms of continuity, is, ladies and gentlemen, there are levels to these things. So majority of the stuff which was being said, you probably were not hearing. So you're like, yeah, Bwanji.
But what made you notice?
What made me notice? I was like, so always like on this device, just look at the levels. How
Yeah,
the
no, I
levels
can
are.
see
Yeah,
the
so you
levels.
can see the levels for this mic, that mic, but then not that mic. So, so always pay attention because you might even find that the record button wasn't pressed.
No,
But,
that was done. That was done.
Yeah, the audio on that is on, right? Samantha, the audio on that recording device is on, right? Yeah, okay, that's fine. So I'll be able to work on it. I'll fix it. So there are levels to these things.
They are. They really are. Because what do you mean?
So
Let
I think just we'll be able to do that. I think you said your date for Love Sunday. Just re-emphasize on that.
So it's on the 16th of May. It's going to be at Blessing Center. So it's starting around 8 hours to 17 hours. We've got buses. I'll send the flyer to Mr. Mwanga for the bus routes.
You know, you can just comment in the comment
Yeah,
section.
so
yeah, just drop it in the
You can
I'll-
just go to the Household of Faith
Yes,
Church.
you'll
Daniel,
find-
Senior Pastor Daniel Musonda.
Yes, you'll find the flyer with all the
page.
contacts. So depending
Yeah.
on where you stay, you will choose the location that works for you.
So even somebody, if they're coming from the Copper Belt, they can still be able to come.
So we have arrangements for that as well. We have got people coming from Kawe,
It's a big event.
Copper Belt,
coming?
Kafue.
Everybody's coming.
Wow. Banner boy.
It's a Christian event. Why are you bringing people from?
Sorry, I
the
couldn't help it. I was referencing someone. Hey, but I be was Amidembe.
Yeah. So awesome.
This will be an interesting episode to watch.
Yeah, like I actually enjoy watching most of the times. Somebody could not stay away from their phone. They just had to come and get
Grab
it. Yeah. Shout out to Samantha. I need to look into the. Well, what's the name of the Planet of Style?
Planet of Style.
Planet of Style. Yeah. So by the way, if you have a business, just text it in the thing. Maybe we might give it a shout out next week. Yeah. So huge shout out to Planet of Style. Make sure you follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the social platforms, and just buy yourself some
Drip.
If you're an on, you're an excel, you're a booter.
No, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's for,
Yeah,
it's for
booter.
everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
You're an
Everybody.
on.
Yeah. So make sure you look dapper. Yeah. You look great. You look
Sir,
great.
I have
You
a
look-
question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I always have a question for you, I know. Yes.
Sure.
So, sir, is it okay, like, if you, maybe I'm talking to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm talking to, like, a leader, or maybe someone who is older.
Yeah.
Then I forget, then I say, imagine, like, bro, like, you know. Or maybe I say, like, imagine, like, say, that's what happened. Or maybe I'm like, you know, like, you're tripping, like, you know, you're performing. Like, is it that I'm insulting them? And maybe in that moment, like, I forget because, like, it's funny what's happening. Then I forget that this person is, like, older than me. And I'm just like, bro, like, you also saw it. Like, it was fun. Like,
You know, it's never happened to me.
I think it's a relationship thing. Personally, I don't take offense on so many things. I remember sometime somebody was like, "Oh, Umubanga." No, like, no. So somebody was like, "Oh, Umubanga," and then the person I was with was like, "No, you shouldn't be allowing them to call you Umubanga. You're Mr. Umubanga. They should be able to respect the." And then in my head, I'm just like, because I have this thing, right? I learned some time ago that it's possible for me to respect you verbally, but in my heart I've disrespected you.
Yeah.
So those are things where, like, I look at it to say, if this person doesn't want to call me that, that's their issue. Like, I'm okay with that. Umubanga is my name. Mr. is a title.
Mm-hmm.
So just call me Umubanga. And so it as well depends with the relationship you have with a person. Others will take offense, others don't. So yeah. But one of the things which I have learned to do is separate. So if I'm in an informal setup, I'll speak informally. But then if I'm in a formal setup, I'll speak formally.
Very formal.
Yeah, I code switch. So in terms of respect, and what does Zambian culture entail? So for example, in English, there's no Bukata.
Yeah.
It's just Bukata. And the Mr. title or Sir title is mostly earned. It's not just like given, like no.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just like, oh, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, not Mr. Bill Gates. It's only when they come to Africa, then you hear, oh, Mr. Sir, Babiu. So, stuff like that.
Like
I think George is a funny guy.
George is a funny guy, like your father-in-law. Like
George, George is a funny guy.
So it all depends with the cultural context. So it's like when you go to other places. Of course, things like when you go visit the king or the queen, there's a certain way you have to greet them, and actually the people orient you.
You must do this.
I was laughing the other day. I was watching something, and then somebody was like, "Do you know why witch doctors have a small door, so that when you're entering, you are bowing to them?" Yeah. Anyway, so close the show.
Yeah,
I think I
okay.
just came to save
It's
the
been
fact that people talked. The microphone was on mute.
Anyway.
You poured your heart.
Imagine. Buzz on buzz.
No,
That was wise today.
I'll have to take time
not in the intensity.
to edit it so that
It's in the
I
what?
still restore your
It's
audio.
in the clarity. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Anyway, yeah, it's been a lovely episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in, watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, the Umubanga podcast is where it's at.
You know, we're super grateful to you, the 5, the 6, the 7 people who regularly comment. We see what you say.
Yes.
Shout out to Loveness who likes commenting my name. I see it. Yeah.
Isaac,
We have Isaac, we have Joseph as well.
Yeah, like it's the list is growing, and
It is.
And then I was telling somebody to say those are our core fans. Like
Yeah.
those are our core followers. Like
Number
people
one
who, like,
supporters.
follow through, like no matter what, and then they're even like, this episode was rushed.
Why? Right?
I think this year we should have a ticket to RCV Top Fun.
For the RCVMAs,
Yeah, we should have Top Fun. We should give out maybe 2-3 tickets. A boy and a girl, we need to reward you for such stuff.
The tour needs to. We need to.
Yeah, so I was actually talking about the
discuss.
tour, and then I'm just like, it needs money, sir.
Aye.
It needs money, sir.
Touch the screen. Touch the screen.
Just the two of us.
Isema sana tumakana mamachua conversation
Ndeka
zao
mungati,
yao.
Ati, who's your favorite?
Exactly. Pia baba ina disciples wenzofika kwa kumaina zovina
The disciple whom Jesus loved. Like, so.
the one who's to sleep on the chest.
So we'll be able to do the tours. We'll raise the money and also
Get that done.
So we're good to go
otherwise
now.
it has been a great episode. See you next time. Bye-bye.